This video is about adding fractions with related units, and this will seem maybe like a little bit of a review, but we're just going to focus on how to quickly think about fractions with related units, meaning denominators that we can quickly spot a common denominator for. Okay, so let's take a look. So we have, for example, 5/6 plus 2/3. Now, right away, the first thing we should recognize is we have two different denominators, so we cannot add yet. We must have the same denominator. Now, even though these are not the same, they are related. And what we can see with numbers like 6 and 3 is that they're related because 3 times 2 is 6. So it's easy to change your 2/3 into 6. We don't need to change our 5/6 because 6 would be the lowest common multiple of 6 and 3. Now, just to remind us of what the lowest common multiple is and how we find that, we can do a little table over here. We can do our lowest common, our multiples of 6 and our multiples of 3 to find the lowest common multiple. So 6, 12, 18, that's probably as more than, it's farther than we need to go with those multiples. 3, 6, 9, and we can already see that 6 is the lowest common multiple. If we kept going, we would see that 12 is also a common multiple between 6 and 3, but 6 is the lowest multiple that they both have in common. Now, again, these numbers should be easy for us to kind of recognize that relationship, and we shouldn't need to do our least common multiple list here, but it is a strategy if you do need to use it, okay? So let's take our 2/3, and we know that we're going to have to decompose it, our thirds. So if this was a tape diagram, what we're really doing is when we are trying to change our thirds into 6, find an equivalent fraction, if we have 2/3, then decomposing would just mean that we're going to split this entire whole into 6 parts. So what we did with our thirds is we decomposed each third into 2 parts, and that's why we multiply by 2 here. So 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6. So 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6, and now since we have common denominators, we can go ahead and add. Okay, so I'm going to erase, well, let's go ahead and do this. So 5/6 plus 2/3 is the same as 5/6 plus 4/6. So now we can add 5/6 plus 4/6 is the same as 9/6. Let's go ahead and show that on a number line for the sake of just using as many strategies as possible. Okay, so we already did the work of finding the equivalent fraction using the least common multiple, and we saw that our answer was going to be greater than 1. So let's go ahead and make our number line again. Start at 0, 1 be our midpoint, and have 2 here. So each of these wholes needs to be split into 6 parts. Okay, so I'll split them in half first, and then each half should be split into thirds to make 6 parts. Okay, so I should have 6/6 here, 12/6 here. So let's start at 5/6, which would be here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll add my 4/6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be, this is 6/6 right here. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, which matches our addition sentence up here. Now the last step is to turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. So we'll go ahead and do a number bond for that. So we know that 9/6, if we kind of decompose this, we know that if we want to make one whole in order to help us make a mixed number, it will take 6/6 to make one whole. And then we have 3 more 6 to get us to the 9/6. So if this is the same as one whole, 6/6 is the same as one whole. So 9/6 is the same as 1 and 3/6.